Hi guys, and welcome to Khayali Pulao. So this is again a new episode, and today I'm in conversation with a good friend of mine, Krupa. She is a psychologist in making, and she's studying her master's in counseling psychology from KJ Joshi Bedekar College, Thane. And while she is not being a psychologist, you will read her, like you will find her reading books and probably watching K dramas all the time. So, hi Kripa, how are you? How are you doing?
Hello, Chika. I'm doing really, really good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm trying not to be nervous.
Yeah. So, what are you feeling right now?
I don't know what am I feeling. Before I started this whole thing, there was a lot of uh, negative self-talk happening inside my head. How's this going to be? Am I going to be good enough? Is this going, because I'm doing, since I said like this whole
Mhm.
thing is very new to me, and upon that it's like a conversation with a new person altogether. So there was a lot of
Right.
negative self-talk happening beforehand, and I think that is why we are here today. And today we are going to talk about self-sabotage. And
Yes.
to go about it, like just since this is a normal conversation, I wanted to know that what exactly self sabotage is and how, like, I know what it is, but most of the people who might be watching this may not know. So, would you like to
Right.
give insight about what self sabotage is and, you know, what exactly
Yes.
is the basic psychology behind that goes?
Okay. I would really love to talk about it. It is like much needed to talk about it. So, as you know, what is like self sabotage? Does everyone doesn't know the definition about because it is a really vague term in it. But as you know, sabotaging meanings destroying or damaging one thing. So when we add the term self to it, it make it sense like destroying ourselves and damaging ourselves. In मतलब खुद से खुद को destroy करना. It is
Oh,
called as self sabotaging. So self sabotaging is like a really common thing between all humans because as humans we tend to self sabotage ourselves.
right.
Means like it is so normal, it is like so normal in everyone that people even they don't even like know that they are doing it because it is so like conscious and conscious also and unconscious also like that it is has become a routine about it, like whenever
It's
you try to do a
normalized
thought.
basically. It's
Yes.
normalized
So
basically.
whenever we yes, so whenever we try to do something, the thoughts which came to our mind, it is kind of when it is a negative thing, like negative thoughts will come in our mind, that is kind of self sabotaging. So, okay, so I will go a little bit into a psychological terms for, and in a easy term, I will explain it to you. So, according to Rogers, there is two perspectives in our life, which is called as self, ideal self, and real self. The
Okay.
real self is which we are, which is like the real self, which we hide. Sometimes we hide from people, so which we don't want people to know about ourselves. For example, because as you know, okay, how the it is influenced by the way we are like grown up in our childhood. For example, let's say there is girl name is Drushti and there is girl name is Srushti.
Okay.
Okay, so Drushti is like grown in an environment where she is like her parents were okay when she was made mistake. So for example, she felt like that. Her parents were like, okay, okay, try better and mix. And there is Srushti, her parents used to scold her so much, even if she made a single mistake. Even
Okay.
if she used to drop her glass, then her father is like, oh, you are such a useless person. You can't even do this right. And you
Right.
can't use like. So you automatically, Drushti will be okay to do mistake and Srushti will not be okay to do mistake. She will like take it to herself. So
Okay.
let's say it will create their consciousness. So let's say like Srushti, when Srushti is doing Srushti is doing something and Drushti is doing something. For example, they both are trying a new task, okay, which they haven't done ever. So
Right.
it's like Drushti is doing it for the first time and she made a mistake in it. She's
Right.
still like, okay, I'm doing it for the first time. Then it is okay to make a mistake.
Right.
But then when Srushti will do it, her first thought, and she will make a mistake, her first thought will be like, oh shit, how can I do it? I'm such a useless person. I can't even do it. Why did I even try to do this? Like, this is
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
like, I'm going to make everything worse now. This is like the thinking process is called as. Thinking process of Srushti is there. So the perspective of Srushti will give an example of self-sabotage.
Okay.
Okay, going back to the real self part. So, taking the same example of Drushti and Srushti, the real self of Srushti will be accepting her mistake. She will be okay to make mistakes. She will be okay even if she like she'll be ready to accept it. And Drushti will be like not it. She'll be like differing from her real self. Like, oh, I can't do this. I can't make mistakes. So she will be hanging in between.
Right.
Okay. And her Drushti's Drushti's ideal self will be like, okay, as a human, we tend to do mistake, and I'm going to be a person who will make mistakes and learn from them.
Right.
That will be our ideal statement. And Srushti's ideal statement will be like, I will not ever make a mistake, and I should be a perfect person.
Okay. Now that you're
Okay,
talking
there
about
comes
it,
our
I kind of realized that I've been in Srishti's place before, and I think I do go there sometimes. So it's just very
yeah,
first-hand experience that I'm trying to get. Yeah. So
yes.
I think cut you off.
So
Please
yeah.
continue.
Yes, it's okay. So, like I said, like Sushtika, ideal line will be that. So, if she will not reach that line, then whatever it is she is achieving, it is not relevant. Like even if she achieved like some skyrocket, and it was not her ideal statement, it she will think like it is not worth it, it is not deserving, and she shouldn't. Okay. So as I said, the ideal line of Srushti was ki, like I have to do this like perfect way. I can't make mistake. I should be perfect in this. Okay. So the first thought she will be like make on making the mistake, like she can't do it, and she's a useless person. Okay, that the thought she will come in her mind because she is self-sabotaging herself.
Right.
So in this, this Carl Rogers gave his perspective about self and ideal self. So our real self is what we perceive. We want our real self is what we are. Sometimes it is unconscious and conscious. Some things we know about ourselves, and some things we are like keeping hidden because we don't want people to know what we are really are. We are
Right.
like always behind some masks and everything, like pretending to be somewhere else we which are not. Okay, so
Right.
that there comes the arc of ideal self. So then let's take another, like in simple word I will give an example. So it's like ideal self is, what does you mean by ideal self? Ideal self is like someone we really want to achieve. Like we have that checklist. If I'm like I want to be something like this, I should be like this, I should achieve this, I should achieve this. And if we don't do achieve the ideal self, we tend to so kind of disintegrate, what is the word for it? Okay,
Motivate ourselves.
no, like demotivate ourselves. Yeah, that is also one of the point, but it is like we start to feel like we are such a worthless person about it.
Okay.
Okay, I will give an example about it. So let's say Srushti has a ideal self ki, like she should become a she should pursue doctorate. Okay,
Okay.
doctorate, oh no, doctorate not, she should become a doctor.
Okay.
Okay, and it is her NEET exam, and she have expected that she should score 550 out of 700. She
Okay.
has scored. She has thought, like this is her ideal score. She should do it. But she has scored 495, just 5 marks, 5 marks little than it. Then also she will be like, no, I don't deserve this. Her first thought will be like, I wanted to do more, but it was like little bit, a small mistake, a small minimum mistake, like a 5% difference. But then also she will have the first thought, oh no, I didn't do it, like I don't deserve this, like this is not even for me, why did I even try this?
Right.
So there come a arc of perfectionism also in
Okay.
ideal self. So
Okay.
it's like we want to be perfect in everything, and if we are not perfect, it is not, we are not a worthy person.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the ideal self and real self, it is our journey of becoming from real self to ideal self. Okay, so a person who is self-sabotaging, who is not even in their real self, and not, and he can't reach to her ideal self. He is hanging in between. Okay. So
Okay.
it's like he can't even be real to himself because he knows कि अगर मैं सच बोलूं, सच अपना सच दिखाऊंगा लोगों को लोग, he has a fear कि like people मुझे accept नहीं करेंगे.
The
They will
fear
feel कि
of
like, yeah, the fear of rejection, the fear of like कि what if they don't accept me the way I am. And
that.
this is the really common fear in this era, this young like youngster people में बहुत ज्यादा होता है, like the fear of acceptance. What if I don't fit in this? What if I don't? Like there is like, it's like if everyone can do this and I can't, then there is the biggest fear a person can do. Like, what if I can't do this and every person around me can do this? Then we start to question our worth again. Okay, so they are stuck in between. They can't even reach this ideal self, and they can't even they can't be real with themselves because of the fear of judgment and fear of acceptance. Yes.
Okay, so that now, like, wow, I'm actually a bit speechless to even ask the questions, but uh, I guess whoever is watching this would relate to it. Personally, now that you're saying it, we have made a checklist of things and we are supposed to do this, and if even if we miss out on one of those tasks, we tend to
Mhm.
uh, criticize ourselves a lot, and
Yeah.
that leads to self-sabotage. So after
Yeah.
getting to know a bit about how the psychology goes behind it, I wanted to ask you that is this something like this is this something that's get developed over the time, and generally your childhood uh, is like an important stage of your life, which decides if this is going to be a serious issue ahead or not. Like, for instance, if
Right.
uh, there is some child and her or his parents are being very supportive about it,
Right.
and that person grows as to be someone who is okay with making mistakes. But what if there is a
Mhm.
situation that even if the parents are very supportive, then even though the entire family is being supportive, the still that person turns out to be someone who has a lot of negative self-talk inside, or the internal monologue is very self-sabotaging. So is it
Yes.
something related to instances that have happened in our life, or how does it go? I wanted to know.
Okay. Okay. Okay, understood. You mentioned 2 points. Ki are they are related to the life and other circumstances of life. So I will
Yeah.
go from childhood. I will start from childhood. Like, yeah, there are various reasons which influence self-sabotaging. Okay, there are various arcs that influence. That one of this is childhood. The way we are grown up in an environment. If it was a positive environment, supportive environment, like encouraging environment, empowering environment, obviously there will be more self-appreciation, self-acceptance,
Right.
but there will be also self-sabotage. Like I mentioned before, it as humans, we tend to self-sabotage. It
Okay.
is a really normal behavior for a human. The way we self-sabotage and we also self-appreciate. We These both are always there in a person. But
Okay.
the difference is it shouldn't be exceeding at a point. Like a person, if it's the self-sabotaging part is really, really high, then the person will turn out to be a coward. And which is not good for the person.
Right.
So, and if the person ka self-appreciating part is really, really high, then it will turn into pridefulness.
Okay.
Okay. So there should be a maintaining balance. There should be balance between it. So I personally I feel that there is nothing wrong little bit, like because as a human we tend to have some self-sabotaging thoughts. We
Right.
can't eradicate it like fully from our brain.
Right.
Okay, so there is completely normal to have a self-sabotaging behavior. I'm saying this because it is there, we can't remove it, but we
Right.
should have a balance between it. Like just know that the point where we can't function in our daily life, it is coming in between our, like it is becoming a block for
Right.
us to achieve something or to function in our daily life, then it is creating a problem.
Okay.
If it is not creating a problem in that, then it is completely fine. Okay, so I will going back to the first question. Okay, I'm little bit getting distracted.
It's
So
okay.
yeah, so From childhood, so as I said, if the person, the child is given a empowering environment, encouraging environment, the parents are always supportive. Like they have given the person to freedom. Okay, the freedom is really really essential for this creating our good self. Like a freedom and exploration. The freedom of exploration. If a person can't, if will not explore things, how will he decide what is good and bad for itself? So
Right.
exploration and freedom plays a really important part in a child's life. So just imagine, I will take the Drishti and Srishti wala part again.
Okay.
Okay, and okay, so Drishti is grown up in an environment. Her parents were really supportive of her, given everything she needed to her, like always there for emotionally supporting her, financially supporting her, physically supporting her, psychological supporting her, like all the four support. Okay, and then they have given a freedom exploration to her, like even if she go in some part, okay, for example, after 10 she have pursued science. Okay, and she didn't like it, so they are okay with it if she is going to change the field also. They're like really supportive, whatever works for you, we are there for you. Okay, so it will automatically create a positive impact on her, and she will have a select a a belief like it is okay to make mistakes, and I'm totally fine with it. Like, but it is going, there are going to be other influencers also for this. So let's imagine, like Drishti have some friend, okay,
Okay.
who are like overly achievers, like someone who are in science field also, which were in her peer groups,
Okay.
who are overly achievers. For example, she had some friend named Ananya, and she's so good at everything she does.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and her parents are thought are like it's okay to do mistake and learn from them. But she has a friend who is like never made, like she's like always achieving high, always scoring high. Everything is good in them. So automatically, as humans, we have that tendency to compare.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Right.
we self compare also. Even if we didn't receive it, our parents, it is there. We see
Yeah.
like, oh, he's having something more than me, and we have that jealous kind of tendencies also. So
Right.
like, oh, she's like scoring so much high, then we create ourselves like, oh, why am I not like scoring that much high? Like Srishti will have that thoughts like, oh, she can do it, but why can't I do this? But I feel it is okay to make mistake, but she is able to do it, but why am I not able to do it?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that there one are come from there. We are getting prejudiced by our sorry, prejudiced is not right, but we get influenced by our peer.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
then there is our environment. Environment is a factor. Our parents being supportive also, but the peer group she has been exposed to maybe have an influence on her. Okay, and then there is a, then let's take a Srushti wala part. Her parents were like really 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 utterly strict, and they are like not okay with her like talking to anyone, like who is not even talking to boys or talking to girls, or she is not even given the freedom to explore it. I'm like, the path is already decided कि तुमको 10th के बाद ये करना है, 12th के बाद ये करना है, तुमको इसके बाद ये करना है, ये जॉब करना है, फिर शादी करना है, फिर ये हो गया.
Okay.
Okay, the plan is made. She's not even given the freedom to like explore anything. Okay, so she will herself have a thoughts ki like, okay, I have to do what this is planned by my parents, and anything other than the planned behavior is going to be wrong for her. Okay, and if she's going to achieve the wrong behavior, she will start to negative have not negative talk about herself. So there is a different arc on this also, like what is this planned for her, it is going to be the behavior she is going to like imposter in herself.
Like she's
Like
going
it is
to
going not
internalize
going
the
to be.
whole thing.
Can
She's
you repeat?
going she's going to internalize the whole thing which has been decided for her.
Yes. Yeah. Then comes the Kalraja part here also. Like the real self is not something she is like real self is not there. She's not accepting what she wants because it is her parents have already planned everything. She's hanging between it because she can't even go back and disappoints her parent and can't even like accomplish that actual self. Okay, so she's hanging in between. So here her automatic thoughts will be, even if she like, even she is trying to something, doing something, and if she fails to do it, for example, 10th May, her parents are expected her to do like 90% you have to score, then you have to go to this best college and you have to do this and you have to achieve that. But she scores 98%. Sorry, 89%. Sorry. 98, 89%. There is 1% ka difference. Okay, 1% ka difference. But her self will be like talking to her like, you are not deserving it. Even if the 1%, why didn't you get it? You should have gotten it. This is kind. Then this is also a one arc of self sabotaging. Like you are almost done. Like you have scored 89%. It isn't gone in vain because you haven't scored that 1%, which you should have scored. So this is the arc. Like even if you have done like you have to do 100 hits and you have done 99, but you missed the one, na? Then you are not worthy about it. Okay. So this self-sabotaging is also revolves around our beliefs which we created through our life. So these beliefs can be related to our environment which we have grown, the pressure, the peer pressure we are around to, the exposure we give to ourselves, the belief of ourselves, the belief of the world, how the world it is, and how the world out to be. Like हमें tend to make beliefs about world कि दुनिया तो ऐसी है, मैं कुछ भी करूँ दुनिया तो ऐसे ही करने वाली है मेरे साथ. So that beliefs also has a really influence on our self-sabotaging thing.
Right. Wow, this.
Okay. I don't know if I made you understand because I was like on my floor only like
So,
yeah.
with every single answer that you're giving, it is just creating more and more. Like we are just going more in depth of the topic, and you know how all these
Okay.
things are just interconnected. Like how self sabotage is connected
Mm.
to the childhood that you have grown up to, or how even comparison. Like I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
At least, as you said, we have internalized it unconsciously. We don't even realize that we are doing
Mm-hmm.
it, and
Right.
perfectionism, of course.